Has New World's first expansion been leaked? Well, I think the answer is probably not, but Danny has made a video with some reasons that he think it might actually be true, so I'll leave a link to his video and he shares his thoughts. Lovely guy, should go and check out his channel anyway, okay? But what I'm going to do is take a look at the leak and we'll talk about why some of it might be feasible and why some of it might not be. As ever, take this with a massive pinch of salt. Now, this was actually posted on the forum, I think about 5 days ago now, and I took a screenshot of it because I was like, this might end up getting deleted. Now, some people are saying because it was deleted, maybe that's an indication that it's true. I just sort of don't necessarily believe that. Maybe they just delete things because they don't want that kind of speculation on the forum, right? Would make sense. However, maybe they are deleting it because it is true. You know, who knows? I have reached out to Akrasi here to see if they would be able to like maybe put me in contact with the source or maybe give me some kind of screenshot so that I could verify it. In pure confidence, of course. They've not been able to reply back to me at this point, or maybe they're just choosing not to. Either way, it's completely fine. However, I thought we'd look through what they've said and see how believable it is. So the first thing that they say is that they know a developer who works on the AGS team and they've leaked some information regarding their paid expansion. Yes, I can believe a paid expansion is coming, and they say it'll be announced in the second half of 2023. I've been personally speculating that it will be at Summer Games Fest, so for me, this all adds up, and I think it would probably end up getting released at the end of this year. Just because it adds up doesn't make it true. This next one, though, I do actually believe could be possible. They are saying that they will completely overhaul the territory control system, so the faction wars and stuff like that. Yes, I think that will happen, not just because a lot of people dislike it. I know the PvPers really like it, but I actually just think it's not very feasible in the long term of the game. I can't imagine that system being around in 5 to 10 years, especially when we get more and more zones. The value of them will get less and less. Like, I just feel like it's all a very awkward system to go forward. So I can believe it. Next one, new arena and outpost rush maps. Yeah, obviously that is going to happen at some point, right? They say it would be a single queue. I'm not really bothered if it's a single queue or a rotating queue as long as we get it at some point. Now, this next one is where I get my massive doubt and actually where I think this probably falls apart a little bit. I just don't believe this one really. Overhauled combat for PvE only, so that there's endgame specialization for your primary and secondary weapon, allowing you to use 6 abilities, but actually when you go back to PvP, it goes back down to 3. Like, that sounds crazy. I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe it does, but I don't really like it. It sort of would make PvP and PvE feel radically different, and I don't think they should do it personally. I mean, they could start adding maybe like a 4th ability and maybe like work your way up there, but yeah, doing this for me, yeah, a big doubt over this one. I just don't really believe it. This one here sounds good. Event-based open world raid bosses that unlock sequentially and dynamically, like a TV show. Basically, if you do one thing on the server, it unlocks something else and your sort of server progresses. I like the sound of that. It sort of reminds me a little bit of like Ashes of Creation's node system, or maybe like EverQuest Next was planning on being. I really like that as an idea. Do I think it could happen? Yes. Do I think it will happen? It's a maybe. I'm going to combine these two sections because it says completely new lore tied to the open world raid boss. That makes sense. We're probably going to see that with the giant worm. New MSQ with the rich story quest. Again, that makes sense. That's likely going to happen. We already know they've been working on it for the 2 zones that have been changed, and we know they're doing 2 zones more. So yes, that makes sense, right? And then I will group these two together, but I think these have like different outcomes. A mount system with its own profession. We know that's coming. That's pretty much what they've hinted at already. So that will likely come, and it will likely come in a paid expansion. Swimming, I think, will come, but swimming with its own underwater profession, I have a bit of a doubt about the underwater profession. Like, they could do something that's maybe like diving or some kind of underwater archaeology or something like that. But yeah, an underwater profession just seems a little bit weird to me. I think I'm on record of saying that swimming, I think, will appear in the trailer because I think it'll be somebody swimming to shore or something like that. And then they'll be like, oh, it's swimming, and it's a bit of a troll, but everybody's excited, right? This next one is one where we already know it's going to happen. They just spoke about it in the cross-realm stuff as well. Cross-server everything. So we know we're going to get cross-server PvP, expeditions. Raid groups are a little bit questionable whether or not they'll do that straight from the start or not. And they did mention some sort of like world content. So we are going to get cross-server, possibly everything, possibly not. Let's wait and see. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Will they expand upon it in an expansion? Yes, of course they will. This next one is another big doubt in my eyes. Remote islands and boat system with its own open seas non-instance PvP mode. Whilst that sounds legendary and I really like the sound of it, do I think it's like part of the plan? Maybe not. It feels like that might be a little bit early for New World, but of course we would love it. But there's no indication that anything like that is coming. Now, it might turn out that maybe all of this is true, and obviously I'm going to look like a fool, but this one is like such a wish listy item that it casts a big doubt on the whole list, basically. Danny, on the other hand, super excited if that was true. Big fan of pirates. Let's just lump these last ones in all together because they all make sense in my eyes. New zones. Yes, if we're getting an expansion, we're going to get new zones. New weapons, of course, that would make sense. New expeditions would make sense. They speak here about like mini raid dungeons that are basically like 10 man. Yeah, I could see that happening, but I actually sort of would prefer they just work on story-based raids, like an actual raid where you go through it and you progress rather than just one boss like the worm is going to be. But you know, I can believe that. New character creator, we actually already know that they're going to do that because they talked about a barbershop and they were saying, I can't imagine a game where you wouldn't have a barbershop. So we know that's going to happen, right? So yeah, all of these are believable. Because I'm a relatively simple individual, I've just put some ticks and crosses. Yes for the territory overall. Yes for more maps, that's going to happen. Big doubt over the more abilities for just for PvE, I think that's weird. Question mark over the story of the server. Completely new lore, makes sense. New MSQ makes sense. Mount system, we know that's going to happen. Swimming, probably yes. Profession, maybe not. Cross server, everything, yes. Remote islands, PvP, bolt system, sounds like very much like a wish list to me. New zones, yes. New weapons, new expeditions, new character creator, yes, yes, yes. I think all of this will actually happen. Well, all of the ticks. But whether or not it's actually been leaked, that's actually a bigger doubt. This could very easily just be somebody who was bored one day, maybe over the festive break, because this is when it came out, and just decided to write this up, right? Trying to inspire people to play the game and be excited for the game. Maybe they really liked the game and they're a little bit sad that people are sort of like moving away and they're trying to get hype back in the game. So do I think the next expansion has been leaked? No, not necessarily. I actually don't think so. Do I think a lot of the stuff on that list is coming? Yes, I actually do think so. Do I think we'll get some features that I can't predict that maybe this guy's hit upon? Yeah, it's possible that we are going to get sailing. Like, that could happen. There'll probably be some features that I don't see coming, if that makes sense. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Is there anything that's not on the list that you really wanted to see? Or is there anything on the list that you think he's got completely wrong? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to support the channel, becoming a YouTube member is truly the best way. Otherwise, come and give me a sneaky follow over on Twitch. What you should definitely do is have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.